What if I told you that there's a royal family so wealthy they could buy entire countries? We're talking about fortunes that make billionaires look middle class. Today, we're diving deep into the world's most financially powerful royal dynasties, from the oil-rich Arab monarchs to the ancient wealth of Asian emperors, and yes, even the British royals. But the answer to who's richest might shock you. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll discover which royal family could literally buy and sell small nations and why their wealth makes even tech moguls look like they're counting pennies. Before we crown the richest royal family, we need to understand what we're measuring. Royal wealth isn't just about personal bank accounts. It's about state assets, private holdings, investments, natural resources, and centuries of accumulated treasure. Some royals control oil reserves worth trillions. Others own priceless art collections, and some have business empires spanning continents. We'll be looking at both official estimates and educated guesses from financial experts, because let's face it, these families don't exactly publish their tax returns. Let's start with probably the most famous royal family, the British Windsors. King Charles III's personal wealth is estimated at around 600 million to 2 billion depending on how you calculate it. The Duchy of Lancaster generates about 20 million annually for the monarch, while the Duchy of Cornwall, now Charles's since he became king, brings in another $25 million. But here's where it gets interesting. The Crown Estate, worth over $19 billion, technically belongs to the monarchy but is managed by Parliament. The royals own Balmoral Castle worth 140 million, Sandringham Estate at 65 million, and one of the world's most valuable private art collections. We're talking Leonardo da Vinci's, Rembrandt's, and pieces worth potentially billions that have never been properly valued. But compared to what we're about to see, the British royals are practically shopping at discount stores. The real wealth lies elsewhere. Now we enter the big leagues. The Arab royal families don't just have money, they have reshaped global economics money. The Saudi royal family, the Al Sauds, are estimated to control wealth between 100 billion to 1.4 trillion dollars. Yes, trillion with a T. They don't just own oil, they are the oil market. Saudi Aramco, the world's most valuable company at $2 trillion, is essentially their family business. The late King Abdullah's yacht cost $500 million. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman bought a $450 million Leonardo da Vinci painting and a $500 million French chateau. They're building Neom, a $500 billion futuristic city. To put this in perspective, that's more than the GDP of most countries. The Saudi royal family has over 15,000 members, and the senior princes each receive monthly allowances in the millions. There isn't one royal family but several, and they're all incredibly wealthy. The Al Nahyan family of Abu Dhabi controls an estimated $150 billion through their sovereign wealth fund alone. Sheikh Mansour, who owns Manchester City Football Club, bought it as pocket change, $300 million. The family owns airlines, hotels, and has investments worldwide worth hundreds of billions. Qatar's Al Thani family might rule the smallest country, but their per capita wealth is staggering. With an estimated $335 billion in sovereign wealth and personal assets, around $2 billion for the emir alone. They spent $220 billion on the 2022 World Cup. That's more than most countries' annual budgets. Kuwait's Al Sabah family controls around $700 billion in sovereign wealth. Oman's Sultan Haitham has an estimated $700 million, and even smaller Gulf states have royal families worth billions. Asia's royal families combine ancient dynasties with modern business empires, creating wealth that's both vast and complex to measure. King Vajiralongkorn of Thailand is often cited as the world's richest individual monarch, with an estimated personal wealth of $43 billion. But this might be conservative. The Crown Property Bureau manages assets worth over $60 billion, including prime Bangkok real estate, rural land covering 41,000 acres, and major shareholdings in top Thai companies like Siam Cement and Siam Commercial Bank. The king owns palaces across Thailand and Germany, including a $70 million alpine retreat in Bavaria. His father, the late King Bhumibol, was considered semi-divine and accumulated unprecedented wealth over his 70-year reign. Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah of Brunei has an estimated wealth of $28 billion. His car collection alone is worth $5 billion, including 600 Rolls-Royces, 300 Ferraris, and custom gold-plated supercars. His palace has 1,188 rooms, 257 bathrooms, and its own mosque. For his 50th birthday, he hired Michael Jackson for a private concert. The fee was never disclosed, but estimates suggest $17 million. Malaysia's Sultan Ibrahim of Johor is worth an estimated 1.6 billion. Japan's Emperor Naruhito technically has limited personal wealth due to post-war changes, but the imperial family's historical treasures are priceless. The chrysanthemum throne's historical artifacts, including 1,000-year-old paintings and sculptures, could be worth tens of billions if ever sold, which they never would be. So who wins this royal wealth race? The answer depends on how we measure, but here's our definitive ranking. Third place, the Thai royal family, 43 $60 billion in measurable assets, with King Vajiralongkorn as the richest individual monarch. Second place, the royal families combined, collectively controlling over $200 billion in investments, sovereign funds, and business empires. First place, the Saudi royal family. With potential access to $100 billion to $1.4 trillion, they don't just have wealth, they control a resource that powers the global economy. To put this in perspective, if the Saudi royals' wealth were a country's GDP, it would rank among the top 20 economies globally. They could theoretically buy Apple, Google, and Microsoft and still have change left over. The British royals, despite their fame, rank much lower with around $25 to $30 billion in total crown assets, most of which they don't personally control. This extreme wealth raises important questions. While these families live in unimaginable luxury, their countries and regions face various challenges. However, many of these royal families are major investors in their nation's development. Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 is diversification efforts, and Thailand's development projects show how royal wealth can drive national transformation. They're also preserving culture, funding arts, and making investments that impact millions of jobs worldwide. Whether this justifies such concentrated wealth is a debate for philosophers, economists, and citizens. So there you have it. The Saudi royal family takes the crown for richest royals, followed by the dynasties and Thailand's king. The British royals, despite their global fame, are wealthy by normal standards, but practically middle class in royal terms. What surprised you most about these royal fortunes? Do you think such wealth concentration is justified? Or should there be limits? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this deep dive fascinating, smash that subscribe button for more content about wealth, power, and the people who shape our world. And check out our video on the most expensive royal weddings in history. You won't believe what these families spend on a single day. Thanks for watching, and remember, in the game of royal wealth, we're all just observers from the sidelines.